Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Roseburg High School in beautiful Roseburg, Oregon. Tonight, your Roseburg boys basketball team welcomes in the South Medford Panthers for a home Southwest Conference matchup with two teams looking for that first win in conference play. The Roseburg Indians coming in trying to end a three-game losing streak and improve on their 3-12 overall record and move to 1-2 in conference play. On the other side, South Medford's lost their first two games of conference play, looking to improve on a 7-9 overall record and move to 1-2 in conference play as well. On paper, it's a matchup that looks fairly even. We'll see how it plays out tonight as Roseburg welcomes in the South Medford Panthers. Well, good evening, everybody. Joey Keyran here with you tonight on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Tonight's game also streaming live online at 541radio.com, where you can watch Roseburg Sports for free. You can also follow us on YouTube. Search 1490 The Score and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tonight's matchup should be a fun one between two teams that look to be averaging about the same number of points throughout the season, and it's going to be two teams that are desperate to get that first win in conference play. On one side, the Roseburg Indians under head coach Jordan Humphreys. They've struggled in the last couple of games, not able to get over the hump, but they've played very aggressive and very strong against some of the top teams in the Southwest Conference. For the South Medford Panthers, they're coming off of a narrow loss against Grants Pass where they lose by 1 point, nearly rallying in the fourth quarter to come back from a huge deficit in the second half. They also have faced some top programs in the conference, and they're trying to get things rolling on their season as they sit at 0-2 in conference play. And tonight they're on the road looking to try and take advantage of a Roseburg team that sits at the bottom of the OSAA standings. It should be an interesting matchup for us tonight, and we're happy to have you with us here for this evening's broadcast. Coming up here throughout tonight's pregame show, we'll get a chance to catch up with head coach Jordan Humphreys from the Roseburg High basketball program. We'll also break down the matchup and look at what are going to be some of the keys to tonight's game. Plus, coming up here in the pregame show, we'll get a chance to catch up with our Supercuts starting lineups and get you ready for tonight's matchup. We get ready to go. Roseburg and South Medford will have more coming up for you as we get ready for tip-off tonight here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Hi, my name is Mark Martin. Thanks for watching Roseburg Football on 541radio.com.
Back here with more of our pregame on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Also streaming with video online at 541radio.com. The Roseburg Indians welcome in the South Medford Panthers tonight for a Tuesday night affair. First Tuesday conference game of the season for the Roseburg boys. And we get a chance to talk about it here tonight as we welcome into the pregame head coach Jordan Humphreys. And Coach, you guys 0-2 in conference play, but we were just talking about that I think these guys keep playing hard and fighting out there, and none of these games have gotten too lopsided. You guys have had a chance and been in these games. And looking at that last one, you guys tried to go with a physical style of play against a bigger team. Is that a style that you guys may employ to try and use in other spots throughout the season? Was there something about that you liked and maybe try to use again later on?
Well, definitely the size of South Eugene. We wanted to make sure we were physical with the big guy and let him know that we weren't going to get pushed around. And part of it's kind of just a mentality piece that these guys need to get and understand that they're not going to back down from anybody. I think they have everybody been telling them they're small, and so sometimes they play small, and we just need to change that mentality of size doesn't matter, and we can be just as physical no matter how big we are.
You guys, have been able to do pretty well staying with teams, it seems like, so far. What aspects of the game, though, do you feel like you guys could do from 2 games you've seen in conference play? What might get you guys over the hump and get to that first win in conference play?
Well, obviously turnovers. Right before half up at South Eugene, we had probably 4 straight turnovers that led to them I think we were up 22-21 with about 4 minutes to go, and let them go on that run right before half, and then they picked up where they left off in the second half. And as you mentioned, at the end of the game, same thing. They ended 7-1 based on some turnovers that we had, and so definitely valuing the basketball every possession, and making sure that we are understanding the importance of every single possession.
We've talked about being aggressive out there, and I know defense has been the area that you've really focused a lot on here as you take over this program. I know that's the side of the ball you really want these guys to excel at. How have you been seeing them do with the defensive side? I mean, obviously, offense, you're going to need that part in there as well, but defensively, are they starting to pick up the schemes you want? Are they applying the pressure the way you want to see them do?
Yeah, and I think it's definitely shown at Sheldon. We held them to 17 at half, and then at South Eugene we held the big guy to I think 0 in the first half. So they're definitely buying in, and I think they see the results, and the more results that we see, then the more they're going to buy in, and hopefully at some point be able to put together a complete game of defense, and not just a half, and then that will kind of spur us into our offense. And then once we get that down, I think we'll be able to focus a little bit more on some offensive skill sets.
Looking at kind of how the season is scheduled here tonight, a Tuesday night game, and we were talking about that just a moment ago about how it's all been Friday nights. It changed things up. You guys feel like they're still in a rhythm here now that they got to play 2 games in 1 week? You noticed anything different from the guys as they get ready for a Tuesday game?
No, they've definitely been hungry. 4 practices a lot for them, not as much for us, but they're definitely hungry. Definitely, I think the Sunday with Kobe Bryant and his daughter, they've definitely been focused and locked in. They wanted to talk about it on Sunday and Monday, and definitely has an impact on everybody that loves basketball. And so I think that's given them a little bit extra hunger for tonight as well.
Interesting. Obviously it did affect. It was news that affected the entire world of sports and basketball, especially. How do you, as a coach, address something like that? It wasn't something I had really thought about going into this matchup here tonight, but addressing something like that, where obviously it's a tragedy that affects a lot of these guys. Looked up to Kobe as a star and as a guy they want to emulate in their game and all that kind of stuff. Addressing something like that, a loss of somebody that kind of touches you, even though I'm sure none of these guys have ever met him. How do you process that and move through that?
Well, definitely, in our culture today, we have a group text message with our guys, and people were talking about it and communicating about it. And then on Monday before practice, we watched a little video. Assistant coach and I talked about what he meant to us growing up and watching him, and the impact he had on the game, and the things that we, that we try to emulate, not just basketball, but life after, the passion that he has, the drive that he has, the dedication he has, the commitment, and how we apply that to not just basketball but to life, and I think it brought up a lot of stuff within our locker room from the guys as far as personal things that they wanted to share and talk about, and I think it helped bring us together as a team in a positive way that is going to help us want to work hard for each other no matter the outcome. They understand that it's a little bit bigger than just high school basketball.
Interesting. That's cool to hear that story there. And before we wrap it up here with you, Coach Humphreys, tonight you got this South Medford team coming in. They're in a spot much like you guys, looking for that first conference win. What do you expect to see from the Panthers here tonight?
They're definitely going to be hungry. They're definitely, they probably watch and see that we don't have a great record and think they can come in here and get an easy win on the road against a team that's not only bottom of the conference but bottom of the rankings in the state. And I think they're going to overlook us, and we have an opportunity to get one at home and get ourselves back to looking to play and on a winning streak.
Yeah. Awesome. We'll look forward to it tonight as the Roseburg Indians get ready to take on South Medford. That's head coach Jordan Humphreys. We'll come back and finish out our pregame show after this quick break. This is Roseburg Basketball on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Back here at Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium, getting ready to go on a Tuesday night in Southwest Conference play. Welcome, everybody, back here to the broadcast. A big thanks again to head coach Jordan Humphreys for his time in the pregame show, talking about tonight's matchup. Thought it was definitely interesting to hear from him and their thoughts on the passing, of course, of Kobe Bryant in the helicopter crash on Sunday morning that really shocked the sports world, and in particular basketball. But interesting to find out how that affected things for the Roseburg Indians and their players. A lot of these players obviously got to watch Kobe a little bit as they were young, real young players, and to watch the tail end of his career. And I'm sure emulated a lot of what they've seen on things like YouTube and on SportsCenter. And so it's a big hit, not to just some of us older folks that probably saw Kobe come into the league in the mid-'90s, but even to this younger generation playing high school basketball right now. And so interesting to hear that was something they discussed here over the last couple of days after the passing of Kobe Bryant. And again, we talked about it some here on the radio on Monday during our Sports Talk program, Off the Wall. Just condolences out there to the Bryant family as well as to all the families affected by that crash on that helicopter Sunday morning. Definitely a heartbreaker just to know that the loss of life in an unfortunate accident manner. It's really just a sad moment for everybody in the sports world and beyond. And obviously other connections to the people that were on that helicopter, the Altobelli family. John Altobelli, his wife, and their daughter, one of the members of the youth basketball team that Kobe's daughter played on. She was a teammate of Kobe's daughter. They were on that helicopter. The Altobelli family, connections to University of Oregon baseball, as J.J. Altobelli, an infielder for the Ducks from 2010 through 2013, and of course then also a coach on that airplane or on that helicopter, and other members, including the pilot. Just sad all around for the loss of life in that accident. But it is interesting to hear, and it sounds like a great team. Obviously it's not a moment that anybody was hoping would happen, but it was an opportunity for this team to kind of bond and grow a little bit closer. Things like that can help really fortify a team going forward, whether it has an effect on this season or next, you never know, but always good when teams can find things to bond over. And if it comes out of tragedy, you never want to see that, but it could be one of the positives that comes out of a tragic moment like that, especially for this Roseburg team. Coach talking about how these players, talking about loved ones, family, friends, things like that they have lost in their lives. And I don't know about you, but when I was that age, I had not suffered through many moments of loss and death in my family in my lifetime. And so to see some of these young men that have had to go through some of that in their lives and being able to relate to it with what happened with Kobe Bryant, it's kind of just an interesting storyline that I hadn't really put together before coming to the arena here tonight and talking with head coach Jordan Humphreys there. We're getting ready to go for tip-off here tonight between South Medford and Roseburg. Taking a look at tonight's matchup, both these teams coming off of a second loss in conference play in their last games on Friday. For South Medford, they fell 56-55 on the road against Grants Pass on Friday night. South Medford trailed by as many as 19 points in the third quarter of that contest, but they found a way to rally back. South Medford had a chance to try and tie the game in regulation. A 40-foot heave at the buzzer to try and tie the game did not go for Jude Pinnell, the junior. His shot missed. South Medford able to get the rebound, and they put the ball through the bucket before the buzzer, but 2 points, not what they needed, fell 1 point shy of forcing overtime in that matchup. So obviously, the South Medford team has some offense to be able to come back at, even despite a decent deficit there against a quality Grants Pass team on Friday night or last week. And that, unfortunately, was a second consecutive loss for the South Medford Panthers. But they have not lost more than 2 straight games since the beginning of the season. They lost 3 straight to start the year, and since then, they've lost back-to-back games on a couple of occasions, but they've always been able to right the ship after their second loss. We'll see if that's the case for them coming up here tonight. On the other side for the Roseburg Indians, they were on the road into Eugene for a second consecutive Southwest Conference matchup. They played Sheldon to start it out on a Friday almost 2 weeks ago, and then last week they were in Eugene to take on South Eugene on a Friday night. It was a 9-point game with about 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, but Roseburg unable to continue their comeback. They finished on South Eugene finished on a 7-1 run as they pulled away for a 69-54 victory on top of the Roseburg Indians. It was a tight first half, back and forth. The lead went, and it was never separated by more than 3 points until the closing minutes of that first half. You heard head coach Jordan Humphrey say in our pregame coach's interview that a couple of turnovers led to South Eugene points, and that's what made it a 6-point game at the halftime break. It was only the second game, though, for Roseburg this season to finish with 4 players in double figures. You got to like what you see there. Last game, Atreyu Pinard finishing with 13 points to lead the way. Second time he's been the leading scorer this season for the Roseburg Indians. 13 points for him, 10 points for Carson Six. That was near his season high. Also, you had Matt Parker with 12 and Zach Martin with 11, as the Roseburg Indians had 4 players in double figures, helping them stay in that game until the end of that contest. So both teams coming off of losses, both teams looking for that first win in conference play. We'll see if they're able to manage that coming up here tonight. Last year against South Medford, the Roseburg Indians went 2-1. Of course, this team looks extremely different than it did a year ago for the Roseburg Indians, but a lot of returning players from last year for South Medford. They have a couple of returning all-conference players. Sherman Hunter, honorable mention, all-Southwest Conference player a year ago, and Keegan Lazinski, the second-team all-conference selection a year ago for South Medford. They also return Jude Pinnell, Ben Harmon, Junior Sleezer, a number of guys that were in the starting lineups and saw plenty of minutes last year for this South Medford team. But last year, Roseburg going 2-1, winning both games at home against South Medford, one a non-leaguer, and then in conference, they split the conference matchups, losing at South Medford 60-46 and winning here at home 65-53 against the Panthers. So we'll see if Roseburg can have similar success as they did a year ago against South Medford here tonight. Taking a look at the standings in the Southwest Conference before we get to tip-off here this evening. Standing at the top is South Eugene and North Medford, both teams 2-0 in conference play. South Eugene ranked 12th in the OSA Power Rankings. They're 13-3 overall. North Medford's at number 18 in the Power Rankings, 9-7 overall this year. The 2 undefeated teams going at it tonight. North Medford traveling to South Eugene in a Southwest Conference matchup this evening. Behind them, Sheldon ranked number 25 at 1-1, 9-6 overall. Grants Pass at number 17, 1-1 and 8-6 overall. And then South Medford and Roseburg tied at 0-2 at the bottom of the standings. South Medford ranked 34th in the OSA Power Rankings. They're 7-9 overall. Roseburg 3-12 overall, sitting at number 48 in the latest Power Rankings. So tonight you've got North Medford at South Eugene, a battle for first place in the Southwest Conference standings. And then Sheldon and Grants Pass fighting tonight down in Grants Pass as well. That's a look around the conference as we get ready for tip-off tonight here from Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Coming up here in just a few minutes, we'll get a chance to go over our Supercuts starting lineups. Supercuts in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. We'll do that after our final break of the pregame show here coming up in just a couple of minutes. Do want to let you know that tonight the Roseburg boys JV team winning at 59-50 on top of the visiting South Medford Panthers. They had to rally back in the second half, and they do so in a big way, pulling off the 59-50 victory. All right, that's going to do it for the pregame show. When we come back, it's time for tip-off. We'll take a look at the starting lineups and get tonight's action underway. The visiting South Medford Panthers take on the Roseburg Indians. We'll have the action for you right around the corner. Online at 541radio.com and tonight here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
And now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. It's time for high school basketball tonight here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Welcome back to Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium, where tonight the Roseburg Indians welcome in the South Medford Panthers. Joey Keyran here with you tonight with me. Josh Nelson helping out with the video production, helping out with our camera work tonight. Angela Keyran, and back in the studio, Cruz Ibanez running the production on the radio side for us tonight. It is time now, after you know everybody working on our side, to get you the starting lineups for our game here this evening. It's our Supercut starting lineups in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. For the visiting South Medford Panthers, 7-9 on the season, 0-2 in conference play. James Whiteman, the head coach for South Medford. His starting lineup will include senior guard at 5'10", Peyton Shepard, averaging 1.3 points per game so far this year. A sophomore at a guard position at 6 foot tall, Junior Sleesler, averaging 9.4 points a game. Averaging 4.3 points a game, a 6'2" senior wing, Ben Harmon. Jude Pinnell, a junior at 6'4", averaging 7.7 points per game. And rounding out the starting 5 is Keegan Lazinski, a second-team All-Southwest Conference selection from a year ago, averaging 12.9 points per game. On the other side for the Roseburg Indians, it's a familiar starting lineup. Back in the starting lineup will be Zach Martin, the junior, averaging 14.6 points per game. The rest of the way through, Atreyu Pinard, the junior, averaging 7 points a game at 6'3". At 5'8", a junior guard, Jacob Parker, averaging 6 points a game. Sophomore guard at 5'10", Carson Six, averaging 6 points a game. And rounding out the starting 5, the twin brother of Jacob Parker, it's Matt Parker, 5'8" junior, averaging 10.7 points per game. Zach Martin and Matt Parker both in the top 10 in scoring in the Southwest Conference. Zach Martin, number 4 in the conference in scoring. Matt Parker, number 8 in the conference in scoring. On the other side, Keegan Lazinski, number 5 in the Southwest Conference in scoring so far this season. We get ready to go for tonight's matchup. Roseburg in their whites. Going to be moving left to right on your radio dial to start things out here this evening. In the road blues tonight for South Medford. White numbers on the front and the back. South Medford across the chest and the stomach on the front, surrounding the number. On the other side, Roseburg across the chest in black for the Indians. Numbers on the front and the back in black as well. Get ready to go for the tip here tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in for Roseburg basketball tonight here on The Score and streaming with video online at 541radio.com. 8 minutes up on the board. In the center circle, it'll be Pinard getting ready to tip as he will stand in the middle against Pinnell. Roseburg's going to win the tip, and we were told about this prior It is a tribute to Kobe Bryant here tonight as the Indians will hold for 24 seconds to start out tonight's ball game. No shot clock in high school, so they can't take a 24-second violation. But a standing ovation for Kobe Bryant, the loss of a legend in the basketball world. The Roseburg Indians will hold for 24 seconds here to start things off. They'll call a quick timeout as they will now reset here to start out tonight's ball game. We're going to keep it right here as the Indians will take the timeout there to recognize Kobe Bryant, and they'll announce a recognition there quickly over the PA from our public address announcer tonight, Tom Nelson. We'll come out of this timeout. Want to let you know tonight's ball game brought to you by our friends at Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Also by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. All right, now we get it underway here. Roseburg with the basketball near midcourt. Carson Six has to get the ball in, and he lobs it into Zach Martin. Again, Roseburg moving left to right in the white jerseys. Out to the top to set up the half-court offense. Jacob Parker to the left side to Matt. He dribbles into the corner. Looking underneath, lobs it over the defense to Zach Martin, and Martin able to hold on to the basketball by his fingertips. Off the glass for two for Zach Martin, and Roseburg's on the board to start it off 2-0. On the near wing with it, Shepard out to the top. They'll work it to the far side to Sleazer with the dribble out to the top. Pass to the left wing, a jumper just off the back iron, dives for Lazinski, and down with the rebound is Roseburg. Now poked away from behind, and it's a steal. Coming from behind, it was Ben Harmon to poke it away right to teammate Lazinski. On the left side with it, Shepard out to the top to Harmon. Back to the near corner to Lazinski, and a whistle away from the basketball. Offensive foul against South Medford. That foul goes against Peyton Shepard. So turnover back on the other side for South Medford. 6:48 to go, first quarter, 2-0 our score here early on after the early tribute to Kobe Bryant. Jacob Parker bringing the ball across the court to the left side to Matt. Into the corner again, looking underneath to Martin. It's not there. To the top to Pinard, who had a great game against South Eugene. He gives it away to Jacob. Driving baseline, Parker off the glass for two, and Roseburg's on top 4-0 here early against South Medford. Lazinski lowers his shoulder, drives in against Pinard, dishes late into the middle of the lane, out from Pinnell, out to the top. They'll reset. Sleazer with it, marked by Six. Dribbles right side, and he passes it away. He tried to get it to Keegan Lazinski. Lazinski was trying to head to the basket, and it's a turnover across the far sideline, back into the hands of the Roseburg Indians. Couple of turnovers on the last couple of possessions by South Medford. To the near side, driving right into the corner. Six, bounce it underneath to Pinard. He goes around the defense too strong, gets his own rebound. A second look out to the top. Martin, a three. Got it! Zach Martin, a three, and Roseburg on a 7-0 run to start out this ball game. To the dribble to the left side, Sleazer to the left elbow, back out to the top to Shepard. The crowd getting into it, cutting through the right side of the lane, and off the glass for two. Will stop the run. With the bucket is Ben Harmon. 7-2 your score. 5:38 to go first quarter. Parker dribble to the right, gets a screen from Six to the baseline. Cutting him off is Harmon. Back out to Martin at the right wing, across the floor, into the corner for Six. He'll drive baseline, gets airborne, has to dump it back out to the top, and they'll reset. Pinard to Matt Parker, who feeds it near side to Jacob. Out to Zach Martin, over the top of the defense, and Pinard gets free. Atreyu gets his first points of the night, coming off of 13 against South Eugene. He looked really good in the paint against South Eugene, and he's taking it early here. Now in the corner, Harmon, a three, trying to answer, looks long, rebound, Pinard fighting for it on the ground. He has it. He'll get it to Jacob. Parker will force it up the floor quickly, going right to the rim from the left side. Zach Martin, an acrobatic shot to get it to go, and this Roseburg team fired up here early on top 11-2 with 4:53 to play in the first quarter. A 9-point lead for Roseburg as they are taking it to South Medford. We'll take a quick break and be back here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Out of the South Medford timeout, still starters on the floor for both sides. 4:48 to go first quarter. Roseburg leading 11-2, now using a full court press, trying to get the ball away, forcing things to slow down for South Medford. Out at the top with it, Sleezer. Away to Lazinski, a couple of stutter steps, drives the left elbow, nearly has it stripped away, collects the basketball to the top to Harmon. Harmon on the dribble, goes right side into a host of defenders and a whistle. They'll call a foul on the floor against Roseburg.
Roseburg foul number 5, Carson 6.
They call that one against Carson 6, his first team foul against Roseburg. Inbound coming from the baseline for junior Sleezer. Sleezer last year played just one game against Roseburg. I think he ended up with a season-ending injury. He'll inbound out to the top, going to Peyton Shepard. With the left hand, driving against Matt Parker, out at the free throw line, hands it off. He gets bowled over on a screen attempt with a shot in the middle of the lane. It was off for Harmon, but an offensive rebound and a putback for Keegan Lazinski. 11-4 now. Roseburg on top by 7. Their largest lead has been 9. A base or corner 3. Matt Parker will hit. That is something that usually leads to success for Roseburg if Parker is hitting from behind the arc, and that one a contested 3. He dropped it right through the bucket. 14-4, a 10-point lead, largest for Roseburg. Down into the blocks, Lazinski on the right side of the lane has to pass it back out into the corner for Shepard. Trying to dribble to the top on the right wing, crossover, had it tipped away by Matt Parker. He dives on the floor to get to it. The official needing some help. I think it's going to stay with South Medford. Good effort from Matt Parker. Poked it away, and then diving around the player, the South Medford player, Peyton Shepard, to try and get to the basketball, but he tips it out of bounds. Inbounding from the far sideline will be Lazinski. He'll go into the backcourt to Sleezer. 14-4, 10-point lead for Roseburg. 3:33 to go first quarter. Alaric Call will check in at the next dead ball. Lazinski gets it far side into the corner. Harmon of 3. He gets it to roll through. Ben Harmon has 5 here in the first quarter. A much-needed basket there. Cuts it back down to 7. 3:17 to play. To the near side for 6. At the wing. Picks up his dribble. Pass out to the top was tipped. And it's going to go out off of Jude Pinnell. Alaric Call will check into the game. So will Danil Olson. Carson 6 and Atreyu Pinard will both take a seat on the bench.
For South Medford, Isaiah Dye.
Call will inbound into the backcourt to Jacob Parker. Call getting his first start of the season against South Eugene last time. He did a good job playing against the bigs for the Axe. Now a deep 3 from Martin. A little bit off. Tip up on the rebound attempt by Call. Saved back in by Jacob Parker. Goes to Matt Parker for a 3. Great effort on the glass there for the Indians to save it in. Quickly up the floor for South Medford. Newly into the game, Isaiah Dye had a chance at a wraparound lay-in and did not go. Now fight for it on the ground, and a jump ball going to be called as the ball was loose. Fighting for it, Jacob Parker trying to get to the basketball, but he gets tied up on the ground. Possession arrow favors the Panthers. 2:39 to go first quarter, 17-7 your score. Roseburg back in front by 10 after that 3 from Matt Parker, who has 6 on 2 made threes here in the first. Matt Parker guarding against Sleezer. He goes left around the defense, into the middle, contested. He wanted a foul, not going to get called, and down with the rebound was called. Up the floor, Parker on the right side, driving, turnaround jumper. Ooh, rims out. Really looked like a shot that he is just feeling it, but doesn't want to fall for him. Defensive rebound for South. To the left elbow for Dye. His pass tipped out of bounds by Martin. They'll reset. Substitutions, Dylan Johnson will come into the game for Jacob Parker. Also in for South Medford, Jeremy Gott will come in. The junior at 6'5", getting an opportunity to play here in the first quarter. Lazinski gets it on the inbound at the left wing, marked by Call. He calls for Sleezer to come help, now passes it away to the other side on the near side wing. Gott with it, dribbles to the top. Pinnell going to attack, but he has to pass away. Gott will have it again. Now back to Sleezer, far side of 3. Back iron no good. Rebound though comes down for Jeremy Gott. Out at the top with it, Pinnell will set it up. Tries for the baseline cutter. Oh, almost out off of South Medford. Baseline cutter was Keegan Lazinski. He tiptoed the baseline, almost was forced out. He tried to throw it in off of a Roseburg player. He was standing out of bounds. It almost touched him, but he just dodged out of the way, and that allowed the ball to go off of Roseburg. Inbound pass nearly stolen away. Lazinski driving baseline, gets bumped. I believe this goes against Alaric Call. It'll be the second foul against Roseburg. Call will pick up his first. Fouled out in the last game after getting the tall order of trying to shut down Aiden Clark, who outmeasured Alaric Call by almost a foot. Inbound goes right to Isaiah Dye, and Isaiah Dye at 6'4", turnaround hook shot, good off the glass for two. 8-point game, 17-9. Johnson handling the basketball. Pass it away to Olsen on the far side. He'll dribble into the corner, looking underneath. Call there. He'll back his way in. Hook shot, no good. Rebound comes down to Gott. Gott will bring it up the floor across the timeline. He spots up for the jumper from behind the arc. No good. Lazinski fighting for the defensive rebound. Make it the offensive rebound, and Lazinski will get his second field goal of the game. He's got 4, and it's back to a 6-point game with a minute to play in the first quarter. Olsen, left side, dribbles again into the corner, looking for Martin underneath. That ball tipped away, stays with the Indians. Lazinski got a hand in there to poke it across the baseline. Back into the game for South Medford. Peyton Shepard checks in for Junior Sleazer. 54.9 seconds to go. Inbound goes to Martin for a wing three. That ball all the way down before it comes back out. I don't know how that didn't fall. 1 of 3 from behind the arc for Zach Martin early on. Corner on the far side of the floor for Lazinski. Picks up the dribble, goes to Dye on the baseline. Working against Olsen. He spins, goes back to the rim. Not a charge or a block on that call. Offensive board attempt by Jeremy Gott. He can't save it back in. And it'll be a turnover on the team rebound for Roseburg. Isaiah Dye, spin move, went right into the chest of Alaric Call, and the official let him play. A little bit surprised, no whistle there. Matt Parker will bring the ball across the timeline with 28 seconds to play in the first quarter. Olsen again attacking that far corner. Head fake on the 3 attempt, doesn't take it. Atreyu Pinard back into the game for Roseburg. Behind the back dribble for Matt Parker, back out to the top to Olsen. Down to 16 to play here in the first. Dylan Johnson out at the top near the center circle with a defender right on him. 10 seconds to go. Pinard gets it at the free throw line. At the right elbow, they got to start moving. 6 seconds. He tries to dump it over the top to Alaric Call, and they turn it over. Call can't get a hand on it. Nobody touches it. It goes out of bounds on the baseline. 2.7 seconds to go in the first quarter. Inbound goes to Shepard. He will launch one, and it is nowhere close as Peyton Shepard will finish out the first quarter. 17-11, your score after 1 quarter of play. Will come back with your second period. Roseburg in front by 6 here on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Start the second quarter. Roseburg will start with the basketball. Got to get it inbounded, and almost an over and back. Tried to save it in. Pinard throws it right to South Medford. Attacking will be Keegan Lazinski, and a misplay there by Roseburg will cost them. They were up by 6, 17-11 to start the second quarter. Now 17-13 is South Medford fighting their way back. They've trailed by as many as 10 so far here in the first half. Pinard with it at the top to the near side to Carson Six. Six picks up the dribble to Martin on the far wing. He'll drive in from 10 feet across court. Pass! It was tipped by South Medford, was headed out of bounds, but Matt Parker got a hand on it right before, trying to keep it in their possession. If he had just not touched it, it would have been out off of South Medford, but Roseburg turns it over for a second time to start the second quarter. 30 seconds ticked away so far. South Medford making their comeback attempt here after falling behind early. Lazinski in the middle, turnaround jumper is good from 6 feet. Lazinski with a quick 4 points here in the second quarter. He's got 8 total, and it's a 2-point game, 17-15. South Medford back in this one. 6 on the near wing, dribbles into the corner. Back out to Martin on the right wing, picks up the dribble to Olsen at the top. Scanning underneath, no one open. He tries to enter it down to Martin, and Roseburg started with 3 straight turnovers here in the second quarter. Near side, Harmon nearly traveled, finds a wide open Dye underneath. He'll put it through, and Isaiah Dye gets his 4th point of the night, and suddenly we are tied at 17 all. 6-0 run to start the second quarter, and that's going to get a timeout from Roseburg. 6:45 to go, second quarter. Roseburg takes a timeout. Let's take a 30-second break. Come back here at Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium with more Roseburg basketball on The Score. 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
As I mentioned to you tonight,
6:45 to go here in the second quarter. Tonight, the coaches for Roseburg wearing purple and gold ribbons in honor of Kobe Bryant. We saw they had the recognition to start out the ball game. Roseburg held for 24 seconds before they started play, then called a timeout to start things off here in tonight's game as the basketball world continues to recognize the loss of Hall of Famer now. They've announced that he will officially be a Hall of Famer. The Hall of Fame committee announcing that they will go around kind of the usual protocol, and Kobe Bryant will be in the Hall of Fame coming up this year when they announce all the inductees for 2020. 6-0 run here to start the second quarter for South Medford. That has tied us up at 17 all. The officials, I think, trying to figure out. I'm not sure if they're trying to figure out who's. Coach Whiteman walking out to the floor. I think maybe a wet spot, some sweat or something. But it seems like Whiteman's still continuing to talk with the official for some reason. I don't know if he was arguing about possession, if he was arguing about people that were supposed to be on the floor. He went out and checked a spot on the floor. It looked like he was trying to make sure that it was cleaned up from a wet spot, but not sure what that was all about. But now we do resume play. Roseburg, they've turned it over 3 straight possessions here to start the second quarter. Now trapped in the corner is Olsen, nearly called for a 5-second count. He finally gets it away. On the right side of the lane, Carson 6 out to a 3 attempt from Matt Parker. It's off. Roseburg still without a point here at the start the second period. Up the floor, Harmon brings it on the near side across the timeline. Finds an open man underneath. It's Dye, bumped by Martin. Bounces it off the glass for 2. Isaiah Dye 4 in the quarter. And now a 2-point lead for South Medford as their run continues. Now 8-0 to start out the period. Roseburg on the near side. Carson 6, crossover, drives right side. Back out to Martin. Roseburg's got to get some offense going. They've got Jacob Parker waiting to check in. Entry down underneath to Zach Martin. Triple team. Somebody's got to be open, and Martin just tosses it out to the top. It'll be another turnover as it goes into the backcourt and out of bounds. South Medford amping up the defensive pressure, and Roseburg so far has not been able to handle it. 4 turnovers on 5 possessions to start out this second quarter. On the far side, out to the top. Shepard with it, dribbles a couple of times to the left side to Harmon. Into the corner to Lazinski, out to the top to Shepard. Roseburg with their zone defense trying to shut things down. Into the corner, got with it, will dribble out to the top. Shepard on the near wing, looking underneath for Dye. It's not open. Lazinski will dribble through the zone, back out to the far side. Gott going to try the deep 3. It's short. Rebound comes down to Parker. That's Jacob Parker who's re-entered the game. He'll walk it across the timeline, working against Shepard. To the left side to Olsen. Dribbles, to the baseline, around a screen, puts up a jumper, just off the front iron, no good on the first attempt of the night for Daniil Olson. The sophomore can't get it to fall and stop the run by South. Shepard on the near side, to the top to Harmon, far side to Gott, and they'll reset back to the top, just looking for the cutters around this zone. Into the middle to Lazinski. He got free, and he lays it in off the glass from the left side. Now 10 points here in the first half for Keegan Lazinski. And it's a 21-17 lead for South Medford, on top by 4. Right through the heart of the defense, and a spark plug off the bench. Back into the game for Jacob Parker. He's got 4 in the game, and he stops the run. It was a 10-0 run by South Medford to start out the game, giving them a 21-17 lead. But it's stopped there by Parker with about 4.5 here to go in the second quarter. And now Parker comes away with a steal, and he's fouled on the breakout. So Roseburg will get it on the near side. They call the foul
21
against Jeremy Gott. Only 2 team fouls against both sides. Inbound pass stolen away by South Medford. A lay-in. Shepard can't get it to go, but he's fouled. He'll head to the line. And Roseburg continues to struggle hanging on to the basketball, something that Coach Humphrey said is definitely a big point to this game. Going to the line will be Peyton Shepard. The foul again against Jacob Parker. Cleaning up some sweat again down there on the floor. Gives us a second to let you know tonight's game brought to you by CHI Mercy Medical Center, by Good Vibrations, solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. By our friends at Abby's Legendary Pizza. And by Mahalo Heating and Cooling, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. Shepard hits the first of 2. He came into tonight shooting 67% from the free throw line. That's his first point of the night. And he'll get both of them to fall. 23-19, back out to a 4-point lead, matching the largest of the night for South Medford. Roseburg led by as many as 10 in the first quarter. Martin with it to the free throw line, spin move, left side, a little bit flat on the shot. Pinard with the rebound, back out to 6. Driving in, 6, pulls up from 6 feet. And Carson 6 with the 2. And Roseburg back within 2 again, driving baseline. Harmon nearly lost it. Into the middle, almost stolen away, but Lazinski able to hang on to it, and he hits from the left side. After missing his first shot, he has now hit 6 straight field goals. 25-21, again a 4-point lead. Pinard gets it, attacking the rim, poked out from behind, but the ball ricochets out to Zach Martin into the corner. Olson a 3, rims off, no good. Rebound down to Harmon. Up the floor for South Medford, into the middle. Harmon back out to the far side. Sleazer back into the game. The elbow jumper off the mark. He tried for his own rebound, and it knocks away from Zach Martin. And cleaning up the glass is Lazinski, who gets another bucket. He's hit 7 straight, and it's now a 6-point lead for South Medford. Zach Martin had the rebound, but he got bumped by Sleazer and lost the handle on it, and that allowed Keegan Lazinski to clean up the loose ball and get an easy 2. Lazinski having a big night so far. 18 points here in the first quarter. Carson 6 has to get it in against the full court pressure. Roseburg has it. 3:03 to play here in the first half. Trailing by 6, their largest deficit. They've scored just 4 points here in the second quarter. Zach Martin driving into a double team. He finishes with the right hand while he's getting mugged. Much needed basket there, back to a 4-point game. 2:44 to go. Right side, Shepard. Head fake on the 3, drives but kicks it back out. He'll get it back on the right wing. Bounce into the middle. Now baseline jumper for Lazinski. Doesn't fall. That ends his run, and a foul on the rebound by South Medford. It'll go against Ben Harmon. That stops the run by Keegan Lazinski.
25.
He hit 7 straight. And I said that he had 18 points. He actually got 14. Helps if I can do some simple math. Roseburg down by 4. They'll break the press up the floor quickly to Zach Martin, and he's able to get it to fall from 8 feet with the hook shot. Quickly up the floor the other way for South Medford. 2-point game, 27-25, 2:15 to go first half. On the left wing, Harmon into the corner to Lazinski. A head shimmy shake. He passes it away, though, doesn't get free. Back to him. He'll catch and shoot on the baseline jumper. It rims off from 12 feet. And Roseburg, seeing Lazinski cool down just a bit, much needed for them. Pass to the near side to 6, out to the top to Jacob Parker to set up the offense. 1:53 to play, first half. Oh, they got the give and go, but Parker can't finish. Tip up, and it goes to South Medford. Jacob Parker underneath. The give and go with the Treyu Pinard almost worked out, just off the mark with his lay-in attempt. Peyton Shepard will come out of the game. Back in, Jeremy Gott into the contest. Near side, Harmon gets free, baseline from 6 feet. Harmon hits that. Pulls up for the jumper. Back to a 4-point game, 29-25, a minute and a half to go. Through the center circle, Parker picks up the dribble. Needs some help. Nobody moving for him. Got to pass it away. He finds 6 underneath the basket. He tight ropes the baseline, stays in. A pass gets tipped right back to him. He goes up and he's hit by Lazinski and will head to the free throw line. The South Medford bench wanting a 5-second call against Jacob Parker, didn't get it. And then on the scramble, Roseburg able to work it into free throws for Carson 6. Tonight's basketball game is brought to you by Fisher's Hearth & Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Tonight's game also brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? And by Aviva Health. Peyton Shepard comes back into the game for South Medford. Second free throw for Carson 6 will go. He hits 1 out of 2. 3-point game. South Medford in front. 1:11 to go. Roseburg pressing here. Cutting through the defense. Lazinski gets right to the left block, and that's an easy shot for him. He gets back in the scoring column with another easy 2. He's had a huge second quarter. 5-point game. 57 seconds to play first half. Martin comes to get it out at the top, right of the key. He drives right side, tries to split a double team, getting his hands on it. Jeremy Gott strips it out from Zach Martin. South Medford will bring it up the floor with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Lazinski in the corner, around his screen, stops at the right elbow, looking for help, and now it's taken away by Zach Martin. Another turnover for South Medford. Roseburg needing to capitalize, attacking. Left side, got the defense all in the air. Matt Parker, though, has his shot swatted out of bounds by South. It'll be an inbound from the baseline here for Carson 6. Slaps the basketball, looking to inbound. One-handed pass, tipped out of bounds by Sleazer. Roseburg at times just caught a little flat-footed here, not moving enough to make these passes a little easier. 6 inbounding from the sideline, and his pass just taken right away by Sleazer. Sleazer goes right around the defense and lays it off the glass for 2. First points of the night for Junior Sleazer, the sophomore. And he stretches the lead out to 7 points, the largest of the night for South Medford. 13 seconds. Driving right side, attacking, and it's going to be a 5-second call against Jacob Parker. So another turnover by Roseburg. Substitution. They didn't buzz him in. I guess they're going to let the substitution go, though. Ben Harmon comes back in. There was no buzz by the table. The officials didn't even recognize him checking into the game. Harmon from the left elbow, pull-up jumper off the mark. Sleazer, the offensive rebound, won't go. And that'll finish things off here in the first half. A tough second quarter for Roseburg, and they go into the halftime break trailing 33-26 against South Medford. We'll come back with your more well-drilling halftime show after this. It's Roseburg basketball tonight for you here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Welcome back here to Roseburg High School for the more well-drilling halftime show, keeping Douglas County green since 1947. Give them a call at 541-459-4039. That's more well drilling. Here at halftime, our score 33-26 in favor of the visiting South Medford Panthers, on top by 7, their largest lead of the game. They started out the second quarter on a 6-0 run to tie the game up at 17-all with 6:45 to play in the second period. They would start the second quarter on a 10-0 run, and that would give them their lead, and they would hold it the rest of that second quarter after Roseburg outscored South Medford 17-11 in the first period. Roseburg leading by as many as 10 in that first quarter, but they couldn't hang on to it, turning the ball over on 4 of their first 5 possessions to start the second quarter. And that allowed South Medford to really get on a roll and start finding their rhythm. Roseburg struggling with the defensive pressure from South Medford, and that gets the Panthers back into this game. But not out of reach by any means. Roseburg trailing by 7 here. They've been within 7 in every game of conference play at halftime so far. Roseburg leading by 6 against Sheldon in their conference opener, and then down by just 6 against South Eugene in their last conference game on Friday. Now they're down by 7 here against South Medford, looking for a second half finish. When we come back after this break, we'll take a look at individual scoring from the first half of tonight's contest. It's our Lamert Orthodontics Stat Update. Stay with us, folks. More of the more well-drilling halftime show when we come back after this break here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Hi, my name is Mark Martin. Thanks for watching Roseburg Football on 541radio.com.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's the More Well Drilling halftime show here, getting ready for the second half coming up in just a few minutes. Tonight's game been brought to you by Flyaway Travel. Contact their travel experts for your travel plans. Now located at 1445 West Harvard Avenue in Roseburg, or give them a call at 672-5701. Tonight's game also brought to you by Umpqua Dairy, your local dairy since 1939. It's time now for a Lamert Orthodontics stat update. Embrace Life. Call their Roseburg office at 673-0924. In the first half for South Medford, a game-high 16 points for Keegan Lazinski, including 12 in the second quarter. 6 points for Isaiah Dye off the bench. 7 for Ben Harmon. Also 2 points for Junior Sleazer and Peyton Shepard. On the other side for Roseburg, 11 points for Zach Martin. And then 6 points for Matt Parker. 4 points for Jacob Parker, 3 points for Carson Six, and 2 for Atreyu Pinard. And that is your Lamert Orthodontics stat update. We'll have final stats coming up in the postgame show for you as well. Josh Nelson is with me here tonight. He's been keeping an eye on the local scoreboard, and he's got some score updates for you here tonight. Josh, so how are things looking so far for our local teams?
Hey, Joey, thank you. So far in girls basketball, only one score to report right now, and that is Coquille at Reedsport. Coquille upsets Reedsport 73-16. In boys basketball, as you know, Roseburg's JV did beat South Medford's JV 59-50. And then in Sutherland, Douglas was at Sutherland tonight. Sutherland continues to win, winning 53-31.
All right, thank you, Josh. You'll have more score updates for us coming up in the post-game show. Before we wrap up the More Well Drilling halftime show, we'll let you know More Well Drilling, keeping Douglas County green since 1947. Call them at 541-459-4039. Oh, folks, coming up later tonight, we want to remind you that if you are looking forward to the big game coming up on Sunday, you can continue to get pre-game coverage leading up to the game. Westwood 1 exclusive coverage with interviews and analysis of the Chiefs and the Niners getting ready for the big contest Sunday. The coverage of Westwood 1's coverage here locally is presented by B&D Meats down in Winston. Check them out coming up on Friday during Off the Wall, a local sports talk show with Josh Nelson and myself, 11 to 1. We'll be giving away a couple of B&D Meats gift certificates, so tune in for the show, 11 to 1 here on The Score and online on the 541 Radio app and 541radio.com. You can win some B&D Meats gift certificates, and make sure you tune in every night this week at 10 o'clock for Super Bowl preview presented locally by B&D Meats. We'll take the break and come back with the second half for you. It's Roseburg basketball. The Indians trailing 33-26 against South Medford tonight here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Starting the second half, it'll be South Medford basketball. They lead 33-26 here tonight. They tried to go with an alley-oop play on the backside as they start things off, but it was a miss by Junior Sleezer, and they were able to keep possession but turn it over, and Roseburg will have the basketball. 33-26 your score as we start the second half. Roseburg will be moving right to left across your radio, but they can't get it across half court. A turnover by the Indians, and Keegan Lazinski will attack the right side of the basket, lays it off the glass for two, and Roseburg's down by 9 to start things off here in the second period. The defensive pressure ramped up after the first quarter by South Medford has really hampered Roseburg. Dribbling to the near side, Carson 6. We'll take a look through your starters to start the second period. Into the corner, Jacob Parker. He passes it out to Martin at the top. Now Matt Parker going to drive baseline, got bumped, tried to save it back in, and it's taken away by South Medford. Lazinski up the near sideline, gets it in the half court to the right elbow, passes back out to the top to Pinnell. Pinnell to the near side, out to the top for Sleezer. You've got Sleezer, Shepard, Lazinski, Pinnell, and Harmon on the floor for South Medford. Backdoor cutter, and it's Junior Sleezer for 2, and it's now an 11-point lead for South Medford, largest lead for either team in tonight's contest. Second half action for you here from Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Roseburg second half starters are the same as their first half starters. Matt Parker will launch a 3, but it's off the mark, and the rebound comes down easily to South Medford. They'll push it up the floor quickly with Pinnell, who passes it away to Shepard. Almost lost the defense, but cuts it back out. He'll pass to the left elbow to Lazinski. Turns and squares, pass out to Sleezer. To the top, Pinnell will work it to the far side now to Harmon. Cutter, Sleezer, got free, lays it in from the left side with the right hand. And now South Medford just starting to run away with this one. On top by 13, 39-26. Roseburg, since the first quarter, has scored only 9 points. And we're 2 minutes away here in the third quarter. Underneath, Zach Martin backing his way in will draw a whistle. They call it against Lazinski. That'll be his second. And it'll send Zach Martin to the free throw line. Martin, 6, Pinard, and the Parker brothers out there to start things for the second half for Roseburg. Danil Olson looking like he's ready to check in here in just a moment. First free throw for Martin is good. Stops a early run here in the second half by South Medford. Carson 6 will take a seat. Tonight's game brought to you by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg, and by Kegel Communications. Second free throw, Martin will hit it. Just the second trip to the free throw line for Roseburg here tonight. Martin with 13 in the game. 39-28, 11-point margin. To the right side, Lazinski working against Pinard. Will square it up, looking for the cutters. Not there, wanting a 5-second count, can't get it. He got it to Pinnell, and Pinnell's shot no good, but a whistle before the putback from Sleezer. They'll call it against Zach Martin. The bucket will not count, but it will be a shooting foul, sending Pinnell to the free throw line. Jude Pinnell shooting 63% from the stripe. Last year he averaged 8.6 points a game in 3 starts against Roseburg. He has not scored so far here tonight. His first shot from the lefty is long. Tonight's game also been brought to you by Terra Firma Foundations, by Dr. Alanson Randall, and by Roseburg Refrigeration. Pinnell's second free throw, the lefty will swish it right through. 12-point game, 40-28. Roseburg needs to start heating up. Obviously need to take care of the basketball as well and start getting some stops on the defensive side. That's a little bit of everything. 3 keys to the game. Jacob Parker on the right side hits the 3. Do they count the bucket? Yes, and a foul against South Medford away from the basketball. Jacob Parker had plenty of time to set up on that 3. He drains it. Much needed bucket there, down to a 10-point game. Roseburg can get it to single digits. They called the foul against Peyton Shepard.
South Medford foul number 5.
His second.
Peyton Shepard.
Second team foul against the Panthers here in the second half. And it will not be a shooting foul. It was a foul on the screen for Roseburg. Shepard called for fighting through it by just running over the offensive player for Roseburg. The Indians will get the ball back after the 3. That's big. They've got to get the ball in somewhere, launch it out to the top. It gets to Jacob Parker. To Matt Parker on the far side, into the corner. Olson, a 3. Got it! It's a 6-point possession for Roseburg. Danil Olson hits the three, and Roseburg's back within 6 just like that. Nearing the 5-minute mark. Lazinski, a baseline jumper from 10 is good. He's got 4 in the quarter as he continues to be hot for South Medford. He's got 20 in the game. Parker brings the ball up the floor. Jacob between the circles, left side. Martin on the left wing, backs it out against Lazinski. Bounce it to the far side to Jacob. Jacob driving into the corner. Catch, bobbled for a second. Olsen launches another three, and it's good. Danil with back-to-back threes. Roseburg still in this game, trailing by 5. 4:29 to go third quarter. In the corner, Harmon back out to Shepard at the top. Straight away, drives left side against Matt Parker. Nearly tipped it, but Parker can't get his hands cleanly on it. Harmon gets it, dribbles back out to the top. Lazinski goes baseline, bumped by Pinard on the floor, no shot. And there'll be an inbound on the baseline for South Medford. Pinard picking up his first, I do believe. Blair Call will come in for Zach Martin. It is the first against Pinard. Also coming in, Isaiah Dye will check in for South Medford. Sleazer will inbound from the baseline. Needs to get it somewhere and does at the last second in to Lazinski. He drives to the baseline, got bumped, passes back out to Sleazer, right of the key, beyond the arc. He'll drive to the free throw line and he draws a foul. And they'll call that one against Matt Parker. 4:04 to go here in the third quarter. Tonight's game also brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling. Sleazer again will inbound from the baseline. Out to the top to Lazinski. A long two. Got it. Just inside the free throw line. He hits from 17. Back to a 7-point lead for South Medford. Roseburg cut it down to 5. That was the lowest margin since earlier in the game. Driving right in the middle. Pinard, his shot just spits back over the front of the rim. Didn't want to stay in the cylinder. Under the 4-minute mark here in the third quarter, Pinnell with it right side. He hits the cutting Lazinski. Right side of the lane. His shot doesn't want to go down. First miss of the second half for Lazinski, who's been on fire with his shooting percentage tonight. Out between the circles. Jacob Parker, right side to Olsen. He's hit 2 threes in the quarter. To Pinard, who gets pushed out beyond the perimeter. Jacob on the near side with it at the wing. Dribbles to the top to the free throw line, stops, looking for the cutter. Olsen will come and get it. A screen by Parker. It gets Olsen free. His jumper tips around on the rim, doesn't fall, but he gets it back. He'll try a three, front iron, no good. Call fighting for the rebound, this time pulled in by South Medford. The Panthers bring it up. Pinnell at the top of the arc. Goes with the Euro step, and he travels. He got bumped in the air. They don't whistle the foul, and that causes him to travel. Turns it back over to Roseburg. Still a 7-point game, but the Indians, a made basket gets them within 2 possessions. Substitutions. Taking a seat, South Medford sending a man to the bench as Jeremy Gott will come in. Shepard heading to the bench for a breather. Call at the left elbow, pass it away. Jacob Parker on the right wing, back out to Olsen. He'll drive left side of the lane, in the middle, mugged by 3 blue jerseys. It'll be a shooting foul, and they call this one against Lazinski, who picks up a third, and that's a little bit of foul trouble here with 2:30 to play in the third quarter. If they could get a fourth on him, he'd really start pressuring. Dylan Johnson will check in here after the first shot at the free throw line by Danil Olsen. Olsen buries the first. Roseburg basketball all season long brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union. The lefty, Danil, will hit the second free throw. He gets them both. Roseburg back within 5 once again. Need a stop. And really put some pressure on for the fourth quarter. Sleazer bounces to the left side to Pinnell. Out to Dye at the free throw line from the right elbow. Drives in. He cradles it and lays it off the glass for 2. Isaiah Dye with 8. 46-39, 2:08 to play. Third quarter. Johnson picks up the dribble out at the top, has to get it away. His pass stolen by Pinnell. Breakaway up the floor. He'll lay it in. And once again, a turnover by Roseburg kills any momentum the Indians had going. Pennell with his first field goal. He's got 3 in the game, 3 points. 48-39, back to a 9-point lead for South Medford. Olsen, crossover. The sophomore got bumped, lost it. He wanted a foul, doesn't get it. He's slow to get up. Bringing it up the floor, Lazinski. Hands it off to Pennell, gets it right back, drives in, no whistle. His shot missed, but he gets his own rebound, and now a whistle. Zach Martin going to come back into the game for Roseburg. They call the foul against Matt Parker, not a shooting foul. It'll be an inbound baseline. Zach Martin comes in for Atreyu Pinard. Pinard checks out. He's got the 2 points from the first quarter. Inbound goes right into the middle to Dye. He stands above everybody else, and he's got an easy lay-in right in front of the basket. And it stretches it back to an 11-point game. Roseburg had it down to 5 a couple of times here in the third quarter, but now back down by 11, 50-39, a minute 14 to go third. Zach Martin handling the ball out at the top, into the corner. Matt Parker a 3. It's off the rim high and pulled down by Lazinski. Had it stripped out of his hands for a moment, but he'll get it back. He runs the point, bringing it across the timeline. To the right side to Sleezer underneath the die, working in the paint. Out to the top, Pennell, the lefty of 3, off the left iron, no good. Martin can't box out. Rebound down to Gott. No basket. A foul on the shot, though, by Roseburg. And heading to the free throw line will be Jeremy Gott. And he could stretch it back out to the largest lead of the game for South Medford. If he hits them both, then he does hit the first. Carson Six comes in for Olsen. Tonight's game also brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op and by CHI Mercy Medical Center. Hitting the second. Jeremy Gott will stretch it back out to a 13-point lead, matching the largest of the game for South Medford. It's been a game of runs here in the third quarter. Out at the top, Matt Parker to the left side to Six. Drives to the baseline, got free around the screen. High off the glass, no good. Rebound tipped by Call, pulled down by South Medford. Across the timeline, Sleezer will slow it down as they hold for the final shot of the third quarter. It's 27 seconds to go. And going to hold out at the top is Lazinski, but Martin comes out to pressure him, makes him pass it away. Sleezer will get it back to Lazinski. Looks at the clock with 18 to play in the third. Pennell will get it on the near sideline. Dribbling back and forth. Now back to Lazinski. 10 seconds now, and now the action will start. Lazinski around the left side of Martin. Pass it away. Jeremy got a 3. Doesn't go. Six down with the rebound. Got to launch it before the buzzer. It does not go.
In the third quarter,
Roseburg made their run. Able to weather it is South Medford as they're back up by 13 going to the fourth quarter. 52-39. Back after this, here after a 60-second break on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Well, we've got the fourth quarter about to get underway. The Roseburg Indians got their work set out for them. Down 52-39. They got themselves back in the game, down by 5 midway through that third quarter, but they could not hang on to the advantage, and they cannot inbound this basketball, and it will go back to Roseburg despite the better job of trying to argue for the call there by South Medford. I thought they were going to get it. Roseburg issues inbounding the basketball. Finally will get it in to start the fourth quarter. Driving baseline, Matt Parker. That shot just does not want to go. It's halfway down, but stealing away the rebound was Dylan Johnson. Out to Carson Six. Now over to Matt Parker. A three, rims off the front iron. Underneath, Alaric Call will fight for it. And a jump ball, a quick whistle, and the possession arrow goes to South Medford. Matt Parker with 2 attempts on that possession, and I don't know how either of them did not go down. And South Medford will have it. They again lead by 13. Backdoor cutter, nobody on him. And Keegan Lazinski continues his big-time night as he puts in another 54-39, 15-point lead, largest of the game for South Medford. Martin driving into the lane, triple team. He's short on his lay-in attempt, and it's pulled down by South Medford. Up the floor, Pinnell into the corner to Lazinski. And ball over the top of his head, out to Shepard at the top. Right of the key, working against Matt Parker. Finds a cutting Pinnell into the lane, kicks out. Far corner three by Gott. Goes. And Jeremy Gott, the junior, gets his first field goal of the night. He's got 5 with the three. 57-39, this one escaping Roseburg here tonight. Entry pass, that was kicked. It'll stay with Roseburg on the pass by Carson Six. Atreyu Pinard will come in for Zach Martin. Well, this season, Keegan Lazinski has a season high at 21. Tonight, he has bested that. He had more than 21 through 3 quarters. He's now got 24 in this game, setting a new season high for him at 24. Inbound goes to Johnson, has to fight the basketball away from Jeremy Gott. Out to the top, 6.5 to play, 57-39. Roseburg trailing by 18. Their largest deficit of the game. Alaric Call looks for the cutter, it wasn't there. Now underneath, wanted to go to Pinard. Pinard wasn't looking for it, and the ball goes out of bounds. Roseburg got within 5 in that third quarter. A 6-point play with about 5:20 to go in that third. Got him down there, but they just could not hang on. A three by Ben Harmon, way off the mark. Called down with the rebound. Up the floor to Matt Parker. Instead of trying the three, he attacks the rim and finishes with the left hand for 2. 57-41, 16-point game. Roseburg still pressing. Up the floor, here comes Jeremy Gott with the right hand. Throws it off the glass, no good. Harmon with the rebound, no good. Underneath, Gott will draw a foul. So 2 looks on that possession by South Medford. Then they draw the foul. They'll keep the possession with 5:51 to go. Foul called against Alaric Call. Tonight's game brought to you by Good Vibrations and by Abby's Legendary Pizza. A foul called against Pinard back into the game. He picks up his second. 7 fouls against Roseburg. Into the bonus now, a 1-and-1 opportunity for South Medford. So with just under 6 minutes to play in this ball game, South Medford will get the opportunity to go to the line. Free throw just popping around on the rim, finally falls through for Keegan Lazinski. His first trip to the free throw line tonight. He gets the first, he'll get a second. Tonight's game also brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Cooling and by Fisher's Hearth and Home. Both free throws go for Lazinski. 59-41, and a whistle in the backcourt. Jeremy Gott called for the foul. That upsets James Whiteman just a little bit. Second foul for Gott. Inbound goes to Carson Six, who dribbles left. South Medford wanting a push-off call, not getting the whistle there. Driving right side, Dylan Johnson, now trapped in the corner. Out to the top to Call. And a timeout called by head coach Jordan Humphreys. He'll take a full timeout. We'll take a 30-second break. 59-41, South Medford in front of Roseburg tonight here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back here with 5:33 to go in tonight's ballgame. Roseburg trailing 59-41. Tonight's contest has been brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair, by Aviva Health, and by Flyaway Travel. Stick around in the postgame show. We'll recap tonight's action for you as Roseburg either going to lose tonight against South Medford or have quite the comeback, down 18 with 5:33 to play here in the fourth quarter. Left side, Matt Parker looks underneath. Alaric Call backing his way in the middle of the lane, just sides trying to work his way around Keegan Lazinski, but a little too strong on the shot for Call. South Medford will bring it up. They can slow down the pace now on top big with just about 5 minutes to play. Driving in, bucket and a foul for Peyton Shepard. Shepard will head to the line where he had his only points of the game in the first half. Now adding to it here in the fourth quarter. He's got 4, looking to make it 5 from the charity stripe. And it's out to a 20-point lead at the moment. Trying to stretch it to 21. I shake my head. It almost seems unfathomable how this one has gotten so far out of hand for Roseburg here tonight, but they've just turned the ball over far too many times against this South Medford defense. On the other side, they just haven't really been able to get many stops. Matt Parker brings the ball up the floor, dribbles to the right side, gets it to Pinard, driving in. He spins around the defender, but too strong with his shot, tipped out of bounds. It'll go to the Panthers. Great move by Pinard in the middle. I like the move a lot, like the aggressive nature. He was just too strong with the touch. South Medford will face a press from Roseburg. In the backcourt, Shepard picks up the dribble to Pinnell on the far side. Back to Shepard. He'll get across the timeline. Pressured on the near sideline, and Matt Parker going to get called for a blocking foul.
Roseburg foul number 24.
4:44 to go here in the fourth quarter. Matt Parker picking up his 4th. Zach Martin and Jacob Parker will come back into the game. Matt takes a seat, so does Atreyu Pinard.
Matt Parker, Bernard.
At the free throw line after the foul is Parker Shepard. He missed the first, but gets his own rebound. And a jump ball called again. It'll favor Roseburg. (62-41), a 21-point deficit for Roseburg here as they try to finish this game strong and maybe build a little momentum going into Grants Pass coming up on Friday night. Bounce left side to 6 at the left elbow. Turn to square. Carson holding. He's got to do something with it. We'll pass it away to Johnson at the right wing. Drives in. A floater. High off the glass. No good. Rebound. Fight for it. Tipped around, and it goes to Pinnell. Jude Pinnell will bring it across the timeline. Hands it off to Gott. Back to Pinnell at the top. Dribbles right side between the circles to Sleazer at the right wing. To the left side. Lazinski thought about a 3. He has not tried a 3 all season. He drives baseline. His pass tipped by Martin, but it goes to Sleazer. He drives in. His runner, front iron, and falls. What a shooting night tonight for South Medford. It seems like everything dropping for the visiting team. And a foul now on the other side. Peyton Shepard called. It'll be the 15th foul against the Panthers. 3rd against Peyton Shepard. Roseburg will inbound on the near sideline. .350 to go here in the fourth quarter. Inbound here. Some new guys in. Logan Klopfenstein going to get some minutes for Roseburg here late as the Indians trailing by 23. Also into the game is Jacob Fay for the Indians. Inbound into the backcourt to Jacob Parker. Parker dribbling off his own leg, almost lost it, then crossed over Peyton Shepard trying to reach for it. Jacob Fay a 3, launches it, doesn't go. And underneath, fighting for the rebound, Logan Klopfenstein there to help get it back in Roseburg's hands. Zach Martin driving in, swatted from behind. Martin has it taken away by Jude Pinnell. 3:26 to go. Pinnell pass up the floor. Too high, too strong, off the hand of Junior Sleezer. 3:24 to play in the contest, 64-41. It was a 7-point game at halftime. Roseburg got it down to 5 points in the third quarter, but the Indians just couldn't maintain the momentum. And getting torched tonight here by South Medford. Shepard going to steal it away from Jacob Parker, and another foul call. Jacob Parker called for the foul, and he doesn't like that call. For Parker, that is his second. That sends Peyton Shepard to the free throw line yet again. He'll hit. He's 3 of 4 from the line. He'll have a 5th free throw coming up. Alaric Call will come out of the game as Danil Olson will check back in. Olson with 8 points in this one. Second free throw is good. Peyton Shepard adds 2 more, 25-point lead. Well, Roseburg at least won't be held to a season low, but this is probably going to be one of their more lopsided losses of the season. To the left side, Fay with it, drives to the corner, behind the back dribble, bounces it out to Olson. Olson going to try the deep three. He's got it. Danil Olson, his third 3 of the night. He's got 11 in the game. 22-point ball game. 2:51 left in the contest, and a timeout by South Medford. We'll take it as well. 2:48 to go in the contest. Roseburg trailing 66-44. Back after a 30-second break on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Fourth quarter action, 2:48 to go here from Roseburg High School tonight. This game getting away from the Roseburg Indians. Tonight's game brought to you by Flyaway Travel, by Umpqua Dairy, by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg, and by Kegel Communications. Inbound for South Medford out of their timeout. They lead by 22. Speaking of 22, into the game, Cypher Townley wearing number 22. He passes it to Keegan Lazinski, still in the game, still scoring. He's got 6 in the period, 68-44. A 3 from Jacob Fay. Jacob Fay's first points at the varsity level. He hits a 3 from the corner, 68-47, 2:20 to go. Cutter through the lane. They continue to feed Lazinski, and he continues to score. And they want to make substitutions. That's why they stop play here. Timeout by South Medford just to get new guys in. I think that might be it tonight for Keegan Lazinski. He's got 8 in the corner to get to 30 points total here this evening, and it's a 70-47 ball game right now. Roseburg trailing by 23. Largest lead has been 25 for South Medford. What a night tonight for Keegan Lazinski. Came in averaging just about 13 points a game. His season high had been 21. He's going to finish with 30 here tonight as he heads to the bench for the final 2:14. Coming into the game as well for South Medford, Jerez Miller into the game. Jude Pinnell out there. Evan Booth on the floor. Junior Sleezer out there as well as a whistle will stop play. So Pinnell, Sleezer, Miller, Booth, and Townley out there on the floor for South Medford. Jacob Fay and Parker Shepard will both come back into the game for Roseburg and South Medford. Junior Sleezer goes to the bench. Jacob Parker goes to the bench. Another substitution. Isaiah Dye will check into the game for Jude Pinnell. So for Roseburg, You've got Fay, Klopfenstein, Johnson, Pinard, and Olsen on the floors. Pinard gets it in the corner, driving baseline, tries for the spin move, and he walks. Pinard, the only starter on the floor for Roseburg. On the other side, all bench players, reserves, except for Shepard. He's the only starter on the floor for South Medford. On the right wing with it, Miller into the corner. Driving in, Dye dumps it over the defense on the baseline, bumped out of bounds. That is Miller that goes into the padding on the baseline. And he's excited, clapping his hands. He gets to go to the free throw line for a chance at some points. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this will be the first chance at points for Jerez Miller. He has not scored at the varsity level so far this season. Miller's points will come from the free throw line as he hits the first. That is a 24-point lead now, trying to stretch it back to the largest. It is 25. Miller hits them both. He's got his first varsity points of the season. He'll come out to Mark Miller as he brings it across the timeline. Left side to Klopfenstein into the corner. Down to Pinard underneath. He fakes right, goes left, and lays it in off the glass. And Atreyu Pinard now with 4 points in the game. 72-49, a minute and a half to go in the contest. Underneath, wanted it. Evan Booth couldn't quite get free, or at least get the basketball. He was free. On the top, dribbling with it is Isaiah Dye. His pass tipped into the corner. Now losing the defender, driving baseline. Field goal rattles out for Miller. Rebound down to Roseburg. Johnson going to weave his way through traffic up the floor and goes right in to a defender, and Johnson called for the offensive.
Against Dylan Johnson.
Second on Johnson here tonight. 1 minute to play in this one here tonight. Johnson in the backcourt putting some pressure on Peyton Shepard. Nearly steals it away. Now Shepard will lose it and out of bounds. Roseburg getting maybe a home call there. South Medford wanting a foul called against Dylan Johnson. Inbound for Johnson. He'll lob it in to Pinard. He skies to get to it. He'll drive right side, and it's a blocking foul called against South Medford. Isaiah Dye going to get, I believe it'll be Booth that gets called for the foul there, the junior. Wanted to get a charge call, doesn't get it. 50.3 seconds to play in this one. At the line is Atreyu Pinard looking to add to his total. He's got 4 in the contest. First free throw will fall through as he hits it off the front of the iron. Roseburg basketball this evening also been brought to you by Terra Firma Foundations, Dr. Alanson Randall, by Roseburg Refrigeration, and by Barnes Heating and Cooling. Second free throw, back iron, no good. Fight for the rebound, it goes to South Medford. Pulling it in was Cypher Townley. He'll get it on the other side of the floor, across the timeline, dribbles baseline. His jumper no good underneath. Danil Olsen had it poked out of his hands, out of bounds. South Medford's wanting that call to go their way. They will not get it. 36 seconds to go. Quiet one here tonight to finish things out for the Roseburg Indians. Dylan Johnson brings it up near side to Jacob Fay. Fay with the 3 in this game off the bench. Out at the top, Pinard dribbling a lot, nearly lost it on the ground. Klopfenstein, and a quick whistle once again on a jump ball call, and the arrow favors South Medford. Will Coach Whiteman call off the Dogs here with 21.6 seconds to go? Roseburg still putting pressure on in the backcourt. Pinard, though, well, he'll still be putting pressure on. Shepard in the backcourt launches it up the floor. It goes to Isaiah Dye, who will finish this one off with an emphatic jam. And your final score tonight is going to be 74-50 as Roseburg misses 2 looks on the other side of the floor. 74-50, your final score here tonight. South Medford pulling away with a big victory on top of the Roseburg Indians. We'll come back and wrap this one up for you here tonight as we get to the postgame show. Roseburg falls at home against South Medford. We'll tell you all about it when we come back with the postgame show here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Welcome, everybody, back here to Roseburg High School for tonight's postgame show. Roseburg, the Indians fall to 0-3 in conference play tonight, go to 3-13 on the season as they fall against the South Medford Panthers 74-50. A game that got away from Roseburg, a number of turnovers leading to runs by South Medford that the Indians unable to overcome here tonight. 74-50 the final score. South Medford improving to 8-9 overall, 1-2 in Southwest Conference play. It was a Roseburg game to start it out. They led 17-11 after one period of play, led by as many as 10 points in the first quarter. But after that, it was all South Medford. Roseburg outscored 22-9 in the second quarter, and then outscored in the second half by a combined, let's see here, it was 41-24 in the second half in favor of South Medford. Roseburg just could not keep up. They got it back to a 5-point game midway through that third quarter, but South Medford finishing on a run and led 52-39 after 3, and they just pull away for the victory. Again, 74-50. The lead got as high as 25 points tonight for South Medford. When we come back, we will take a look at individual scoring tonight as we get you a stat update brought to you by Lamert Orthodontics. Take a quick break and continue on with the Roseburg basketball postgame show tonight here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Back here at Roseburg High School as we get ready to wrap things up. Tough one tonight for the Roseburg Indians, falling 74-50. Joey Keyran here with you, along with Josh Nelson and Angela Keyran, bringing you the action here from the gym tonight. Back in the studio, Cruz Ibanez running the radio production for us here this evening. Before we get too far, let's go ahead and take a look at our Lamert Orthodontics stat update. Final scores from tonight's game. Lamert Orthodontics Embrace Live. Call their Roseburg office at 673-0924. For the visiting South Medford Panthers, leading the way, a season high for Keegan Lazinski. Number 5 scorer in the Southwest Conference, finishes with 30 points tonight as he leads the way for the Panthers. Scored 12 in the second quarter to really put him up there. Finishes with 14 in the second half to get to 30 total. He leads the way with a game high tonight. Behind him, nobody in double digits, one player in double digits, Isaiah Dye with 12 off the bench for South Medford. Then everybody else in single digits. 8 points for Junior Sleazer, 7 for Peyton Shepard, 7 for Ben Harmon tonight, 5 for Jeremy Gott. And you had 3 points in the game for Jude Pinnell and 2 points for Jerez Miller in this one here tonight off the bench late in the game. On the other side for the Roseburg Indians, leading the way, Zach Martin with 13 points, just a shy of his average on the season. 13 for Martin in double figures, 11 for Danil Olson off the bench. And other than that, you had 8 points for Matt Parker, 7 points for Jacob Parker, 5 points in this game for Atreyu Pinard, 3 points for Carson Six, 3 for Jacob Fay, and then Alaric Call, Dylan Johnson, and Logan Klopfenstein all getting into the game but not scoring here tonight. So that is your Lamert Orthodontics stat update. We will wrap things up when we come back with a look at the scoreboard with Josh Nelson. Stay with us. We finish out our tonight's broadcast of Roseburg basketball here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Hi, my name is Mark Martin. Thanks for watching Roseburg Football on 541radio.com.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Well, folks, a tough one tonight for your Roseburg Indians as they fall against South Medford here this evening. Tough pill to swallow. They had a close one, got back to within 5 in the third quarter after leading by as many as 10 in the first quarter. But it just wasn't meant to be tonight. They just could not handle the basketball against the defense from South Medford, and the Panthers pull away tonight 74-50. That's the final score of our game. Josh Nelson's been looking for score updates for games going on around the Umpqua Basin tonight, and he's been keeping tabs on those and has a rundown for us on what hopefully we have some final scores of other games. Josh?
All right, thanks, Joey. Yes, in boys basketball tonight, Douglas was at Sutherland. Sutherland ends up winning 53-31. Also in boys basketball, Coquille was at Reedsport tonight, and Coquille ends up winning that one 66-47. As in girls basketball tonight, Coquille was at Reedsport again for that one. Coquille wins that one big, 73-16. Days Creek was at Yoncalla. Yoncalla ends up winning that one on their home court, 49-35. And then Oakland was at Central Lynn. Central Lynn wins that one, 60-39.
All right, thank you, Josh. A look at scores from around the Umpqua Basin tonight. We'll have the scores from tonight's games posted up online at 541radio.com coming up by tomorrow morning. We'll have those scores there for you to check out if you'd like to get the full recap of what happened tonight for Umpqua Basin teams. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up here as they start emptying out the gym. It's time to head on our way as well. Tonight, final score 74-50. Roseburg falling to South Medford coming up next. Roseburg back at home on Friday night. We hope you come on out as the Roseburg Indians will welcome in Grants Pass. It's going to be a fun night at halftime. The Roseburg Unified basketball team getting honored with a national banner and statewide representation coming from the State of Oregon Special Olympics going to be in town. So it's going to be a fun night on Friday night, no matter what happens in the game. A lot of good things going on here at Roseburg with Unified Sports, and they're going to get honored coming up Friday. So look forward to having, hopefully, folks out here packing up the gym for us, make it a great atmosphere for everybody involved in Friday's game. But if you can't make it out, you're more than welcome to tune in on the game on the radio or watching online as well at 541radio.com. Before we head on out here tonight, I want to say thanks to the South Medford Panthers making the trek up here. James Whiteman, the head coach for the Panthers, and his entire program. As always, want to say thanks to the Roseburg Indians Athletic Director Russ Bolin, head coach Jordan Humphreys, and the entire boys basketball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg basketball here on The Score. Want to say thanks to Josh Nelson, as always, for his help with the production here on site tonight. Thanks to Angela Kieran for helping with the video production this evening. And thanks to Cruz Ibanez back in the studio for his production on the radio side. And as always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Kieran. Folks, we will talk to you guys on Friday night when the Roseburg Indians welcome in the Grants Pass Cavemen for another Southwest Conference matchup. The game tips off at 6:45. Pregame coverage will start at 6:30. You can catch the action streaming live for free online at 541radio.com and right here on Douglas County's home for sports, The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. All right, Cruz, thank you, man.